their culture is just infused with kind of a celebration of their traditions.
BYU students celebrate Oktoberfest with root beer and lederhosen.
These speakers are among the most distinguished scholars of Islam in the United States.
The world's leading experts on Islam meet on BYU campus to discuss the modern Islamic world today.
People have worked throughout this pandemic and they've been called essential, but unfortunately they've been treated as expendable.
Americans across the country leave their jobs due to workplace burnout. Welcome to Universe Live. It's Tuesday, October 19th. I'm Ali O'Rulian.
And I'm Catherine Bennett. The United States is making progress in the battle against COVID-19 with increases in vaccinations and the availability of booster shots for some.
But the pandemic appears to still have a grip on the U.S. jobs market, and it's giving the workforce the upper hand on employers. John Lawrence reports.
The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way many Americans view their career goals.
And that's why you're seeing a lot of people who simply don't want to go back to restaurant or hotel jobs. They are trying to find something else.
Despite average growth and hourly wages trending up over the past few years, a record-setting 4.3 million people left their jobs in August, according to the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey.
The number one reason is burnout, mental health issues. I want better work-life flexibility to be with family or to pursue other dreams that I have.
As companies look to fill their job vacancies, unions are starting to flex their muscles.
People have worked throughout this pandemic and they've been called essential, but unfortunately they've been treated as expendable.
Thousands of John Deere workers are on the picket lines after turning down a tentative deal that included hikes in pay and benefits.
There's been this huge reset. Over half of all workers are sort of saying, I'm not sure I want to work the way I did and in the same place I did, which has soared in terms of quit rates. So we really are in this alternative universe that is not going to dissipate anytime soon.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Other potential strikes are looming. A walkout of 60,000 Hollywood workers was set to start Monday. However, on Saturday night, a tentative deal was struck and is expected to be finalized soon. Orem police identified the two BYU students who died in a car crash last Friday. 21-year-old Haley York and 21-year-old Ashley Hansen were killed in the crash at the intersection of 400 South State Street just before 9:30 p.m. York and Hansen were in a car making a left-hand turn heading west on 400 South. The car they were in collided with another car heading south. The drivers of both cars were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Orem police say that the investigation is still ongoing, so they will not be releasing any more details.
A falling boulder crushed and killed a Brigham Young University senior over the weekend. 24-year-old Jacob West from Cedar Hills, Utah, was hunting for topaz with his sister at Topaz Mountain when a boulder broke off the mountainside and rolled over him. Though his sister called for help, it took first responders 2 hours to get to him. West was a newlywed of a year and a half and was just 2 months away from graduating with his degree in computer science. West's family says Jacob gave his whole heart and all of his energy to every aspect of his life. His funeral will be held in Cedar Hills on Saturday. Governor Spencer Cox ordered flags lowered across Utah on all state facilities to recognize the life of General Colin Powell.
The world lost one of the greatest leaders that we have ever witnessed.
General Powell died Monday at age 84 from COVID complications amid his cancer battle. He served as the first Black Secretary of State and first Black Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Powell was vaccinated and was scheduled to get his booster shot this past week, but then he fell ill, so he wasn't able to get it. Governor Cox is inviting private citizens and businesses to honor Powell by joining the state in lowering their American and state of Utah flags.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has reclassified a species of fish found in Utah as threatened rather than endangered. Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and tribal agencies have made significant progress in recovering populations of the humpback chub fish. The humpback chub is native to the lower Colorado River Basin, and its populations became endangered due to large mainstream dams. Its improved state is credited to the collaborative conservation efforts of multiple programs and agencies.
BYU is hosting a two-day conference on Islam. Carly Wasserline is inside the Hinckley Center to tell us about the conference. Carly, how much longer will the conference be going on?
Tuesday is the last day of BYU's Conference on Islam, here in the Hinckley Center.
What do we mean when we use the word Islam?
14 scholars are on campus to give lectures about the modern world of Islam. Everyone is invited to attend. The sessions cover a range of topics, such as women and gender in the Islamic world or perceptions of Islam in the West. The scholars aren't the only ones planning on teaching, however. Muslim students on campus are using the conference as an opportunity to educate others on their religion.
Some people think it's like all about oppression, and so I just want to change that idea and tell them what Islam is actually about. It's just beautiful to learn about other religions.
Muslim students want to emphasize the similarity between their faith and the dominant faith on campus.
There's no difference between us. We have the same rules, the same family-oriented ethics and code of ethics. Everything is similar.
The conference has been years in the making. It is meant to act as an introduction to Islam. It will give a foundation of knowledge as well as disprove some of the common falsehoods spread about Islam. The head of the conference, Grant Underwood, says that he feels as if BYU's unique religious background has prepared the students here well.
The BYU experience has instilled within our students a kind of open, questing mindset that says, I want to learn about other cultures.
If you haven't been able to come to the conference yet, don't worry, there's still a couple more sessions that you can catch. The sessions will also be live streamed from islamconf.byu.edu, and tonight at 8 o'clock, Elders Gong and Bednar of the 12 will be here to speak at the conference in the Joseph Smith building. Reporting at Brigham.
Thanks, Carly.
I'm Carly Wasser.
Grab your lederhosen and a mug of root beer and come to BYU campus to kick off the German Oktoberfest. Katie Ann is in the Humanities building and will tell us about the festivities. Katie Ann.
Typically, this time of year in Germany, there would be a large celebration of the Oktoberfest. But due to the global health crisis, it was canceled. So instead of going to Germany to celebrate, BYU brought Germany to the Humanities building. The German club hosted Oktoberfest Friday night to kick off the would-be celebrations of Oktoberfest. So welcome, or as they say, Servus. Friday night, BYU German students dressed in lederhosen and drindles to celebrate the would-be celebrations in Germany.
So these are lederhosen. Each area in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland basically has their own style of lederhosen. So these I bought in Graz in Austria. So these are typisch steirisch lederhosen.
Oktoberfest goes back 200 years when the Crown Prince married his new bride and hosted a party over a week long. Oktoberfest has continued as a traditional festival for over 2 centuries in the month of October.
The point of German Club is to bring together students from the BYU community that want to experience German, Austrian, Swiss, and Liechtenstein culture.
The German Club's goal is to excite students about the German culture and bring depth to their world through cultural exposure.
To be able to step into a different culture and to be invited in and to be able to share with others kind of gives us a whole second life.
Although the students were thrilled to try traditional German food and dancing, their love for the German culture runs deeper than this one festival. You don't have to be in Germany to feel the love of the country and the culture. BYU German Club is making sure that the culture is alive and well here on campus. Reporting for Universe Live, I'm Katie Ann Powell. Auf Wiedersehen.
Dankeschön, Katie Ann. Students at BYU find new ways to meet the one.
There's definitely dangers to it, but also there are really good people out there that you wouldn't meet without social media.
How social media is changing the dating scene in Provo.
Football looks to bounce back from the Baylor loss, an update on BYU volleyball's winning streak, and where BYU hoops falls in the preseason rankings.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Oh, sweetie. Okay, you know what? Let's take off his sweatshirt. Get rid of pictures of him. You don't have to look at him. Goodbye, Dave.
Mom, you don't understand. He's tagged in like 400 of my posts.
I can cut out tags.
No, that's
not how it works.
What is a tag?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love to share their first with you.
A few weeks ago, the hashtag Twinder blew up on Twitter.
Twinder combined the wide worlds of social media and online dating with interesting results. Universe Live reporter Abby Gunderson has more. Abby?
This past week, Twitter user Big Relly, the re-instigator of the Twinder trend, tweeted about another invite to another Twitter wedding. I went to BYU campus to find out what students think about these new developments in internet dating.
Most students aren't Twitter users, but everyone understands the idea of online dating. Chat rooms, Instagram, Twitter, and even TikTok can be a space to meet new people. But that doesn't mean everyone wants to.
I don't know if it's necessarily my style, but I kind of like meeting people in person and getting to know them in person.
With in-person meetings limited for so long, apps like Mutual, Tinder, and Bumble had a great opportunity to fill a need. Finding a significant other online is becoming more common.
I've used Tinder before, don't like it. I've used Bumble once, don't like. I've had like one experience and I'm just like totally off it, but I would always give it a try at least once.
For some, there's a stigma around virtual dating, especially on a traditional social media app like Twitter.
I feel like when people introduce their partners as someone they met on social media, a lot of people question it because they don't feel they can get to know them through social media,
But others see it as a great opportunity. Jason Funk, a student at BYU, is optimistic about the prospects of online dating in an increasingly digital world.
A lot of people nowadays are more familiar with communicating through technology than face-to-face. So it can remove some barriers there.
For some singles, it's the optimal setting to meet new people.
Lots of people have found their one and onlys from them, and so kudos to them.
With Twinder and Facebook dating, social media is quickly taking its place among the dating apps.
Whether you're swiping up or sliding into DMs, internet dating doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon.
Following a 28-34 loss to Baylor over the weekend, the BYU football team fell out of the AP Top 25 and is no longer ranked.
I mean, obviously not feeling all that great about the loss, but the opportunity for us to move on and get better and perform a lot better than we did the last 2 weeks now. So I got to get off this losing streak.
But it's not all bad news for BYU. QB Jaron Hall was named the Independent Offensive Player of the Week by College Sports Madness after he went 22 of 31 for 342 pass yards and had an impressive 56-yard run for a touchdown. The Cougars are back on the road to take on Washington State this weekend. Basketball opens their season in just over 2 weeks from today. In anticipation of the season, the AP released their preseason rankings. BYU basketball is unranked but received 3 votes. The West Coast Conference named Alex Barcelo and Caleb Lohner to their all-WCC preseason team. Barcelo led the Cougars' offense last season, averaging 16.1 points per game, while Lohner was a defensive star, averaging 7.1 rebounds per game. Speaking of the WCC, preseason rankings from Ken Pomeroy ranks the conference's basketball programs as 7th overall. The WCC is the highest-ranked non-power conference in the poll. The #1 scoring offense in the nation is none other than BYU women's soccer. They average 4.08 goals a game, evident in their match against Pacific last Saturday. The Cougars scored 6 total goals. Senior Michaela Coulihan was also named the WCC Player of the Week for the 5th time. She leads the WCC in points, assists, and goals. The Cougars are back home on Saturday. BYU women's volleyball is currently on an 11-match winning streak. They are #8 in the NCAA rankings. The Cougars are 18-1 on the season and 8-0 in the WCC. Grad transfer Kenzie Kerber left the match Saturday with a double-double, with 14 kills and 13 digs. BYU returns to Provo this week to host #22 San Diego on Friday at 7 p.m.
Thanks for joining us today at Universe Live.
Have a great day.